Hi, I'm honored to nominate Mr. John Scheuber for the CATA Hall of Fame. John actually taught in this classroom when he was an instructor here at Modesto Junior College, but he began his teaching in Patterson High School, and he taught there for 2 years, and then he taught at Modesto Junior College for 8 years. John Scheuber is probably best known as Mr. Advisory Committee. He is involved with many different agriculture education advisory committee, from high school to community college to the university level. You have an opportunity today to hear from John himself of his experience with teaching, and then also Dustin Sperling about his assistance with community colleges throughout California. Once again, thank you for this honor.
I'm John Scheuber, former instructor of MJC, and I came here in 1965 as an instructor of ag business, the first ag business instructor at MJC. My affiliation here starts back in 1958, and I brought along a picture today to kind of portray the fact of open house, the very activity that we're participating in here. Back in 1958, when I was a dairy student with working under the tutoring of Dave Risling. Dave Risling, my affiliation with MJC started when Dave Risling came out to me visiting me after I had gone to Army Reserve Camp for 6 months. He came by and said, "What is the possibility of you signing up for JC Ag?" And I said, "Well, I've been giving some thought to going to school, but I haven't really decided yet." So in January, February, he talked to me, and I started mid-year, and he said, "Well, I have a dairy Holstein scholarship here for $100. If you're interested in being a dairy major, I'd be glad to give you that and get you started." So my affiliation with MJC started as a dairy student in February 58, and I went to school here for 2.5 years. Ernie Terone, the head of the department here, who had been head of the department for many years, asked if I would be interested in teaching ag business at MJC. Quite an honor. At age 25, I came here and started teaching, and what a great honor to be asked to be a part of a strong staff, probably nationally known staff of ag specialists. And probably one of the things that I missed most about leaving MJC, which I did 8 years later, was the fact of you leave behind the camaraderie and the staff and the people that you've had a great affiliation with, and probably the most powerful education team in the country.
When one is asked to share a few words regarding the significance of John Scheuber's contribution to ag education, quite honestly, you're faced with an impossible task. Words simply can't do justice. The only way that I can articulate it to people outside of the community college is to say that John Scheuber is to community college agriculture programs what Jim Ashwan and Matt Patton are to high school agriculture programs. To describe John Scheuber as simply the chair of the statewide advisory committee for ag and natural resources programs at community college is a disservice. He's so much more than that. One of John's greatest contributions has easily been the program review process, in which he works with industry leaders, community college instructors, to conduct accreditation visits or program reviews for programs that are experiencing some significant challenges in the state of California. There are a long list of programs throughout the state that John Scheuber and the program review process have saved. We're fortunate to have those high quality programs in the state of California as a result of his efforts, ongoing and consistent. At this point in time, you might think that John Scheuber sounds like a great individual and it sounds like he's contributed a whole lot to the community college system, but what has he really done for high school programs? And I would say that John Scheuber's greatest contribution to ag education has actually been in the high school system. You see, without John Scheuber, there would be no Bob Huvil. Bob Huvil was just a young farm kid from Ripon, California, that was taking some classes at Modesto Junior College and happened to enroll in an ag business course that was taught by John Scheuber. And it was John Scheuber himself that convinced Bob Huvil to become a teacher. Many community college teachers throughout the state of California could talk at great length about the importance of John Scheuber. And I think just to encapsulate it, there is nobody more fitting to be the first non-teaching representative to be voted into the Hall of Fame in recognition of his efforts to the community college system than one John Scheuber, and I would urge you to vote for him.